talk about your finances a little bit, kind of clear things up, because obviously this is a sensitive topic that a lot of people don't want to talk about. But now that it's out there, you know, she said that you kind of spent, especially in this episode, it really kind of goes into that as well, and that you spent all of their money and things like that. So I just want you to have a chance to kind of clear things up.
You know, I said that, like, I don't like to talk about private and personal financial matters, but Michelle already opened up that Pandora's box, right? And I've said that whatever the case is, Michelle and I were 50-50 business partners. We split every commission, and if our business suffered, we're both at fault. And the same thing with our savings and all of that, you know, all of the financial stuff, she had 100% access to that. So, you know, this idea that I was spending all of our money on wine, that's a lot of wine for very little storage in my little cellar, my wine fridges. But yeah, you know, we lived a really great life, and we continue to live that life as the real estate market slowed down in 23 and 24. And we're both really at fault, but it's a perfect way for her to deflect from, you know, the reality is that she cheated, and then she started this emotional affair with Aaron, and everything she's doing, again, is to create her own narrative to deflect away from the truth.
You do apologize, but you do double down on the hooker comments this episode. Was that like maybe one of your biggest regrets of the season?
I'll tell you what, start way before that. My biggest regret is, when Danny mentioned to me that this had come out, I was actually caught off guard, which is very rare for me, and I was a little bit in shock, and I should have gone right in and taken a beating from those girls at Dave & Buster's. And then, you know, trying to brush it under the rug in Santa Barbara and the white flag. I wish I had just taken Michelle into the driveway right then and there and apologized and been like, look, you know, here's the situation, here's what triggered me to send that text. And, you know, the other thing is, Michelle had heard that story before. I came to her and told her about that rumor. So her seeing it for the first, that wasn't the first time she heard it at Dave & Buster's. She just heard it, that it made it onto TV. And that's where the tears came from. But she had heard that rumor. I told her I didn't believe it. And then I made a mistake. Yeah,
you know, you guys were slinging insults back and forth this episode. It's a tough watch. And I mean, she's even saying that a man kind of gave you money on your birthday. Do you want to clear that up?
I mean, it was so obvious deflection away from what was happening with her, right? You know, this is a man who I've been friends with for years. I used to work for when I lived here in New York. Michelle had spent time at his house in the Hamptons. We traveled to Capri together. He was a real good friend of mine. He's one of 52 people at our wedding. And for him to send me a birthday present on my actual birthday is a little different than my asking Michelle to explain these deposits on random days that weren't related to a birthday, you know, and a birthday, a celebration, anything. And she was just, I think, really deflecting away from the truth and having to explain or take accountability for the truth.